conservation efforts. And so coming from Florida, which is actually the #1 golf course congested state in America, California is #2. And so we were taking field trips to the Mojave Desert, which I'll talk about soon. But Palm Desert is actually the most golf course congested area in California, and it almost makes you wonder, well, why is it a desert? You know, if all of this water is being consumed for this spectacle. So I kind of felt really frustrated and like overwhelmed with this amount of data. This is a data list of all the golf course information. There's over 1,000 here. And I was kind of frustrated, and so this piece is aesthetically / formally talking a little smack on the golf course industry because, you know, it's completely inaccessible. No matter how hard I try, no matter how activist I try to get, they're not going anywhere. The golf courses they're protected and they're preserved as part of California's tourism industry. So that's why I kind of felt like, you know, let's suspend them in glass, let's barricade it, and then, you know, the barricade also works to me as a metaphor that while it's also keeping us out from accessing it, it's also a metaphor for me because I kind of felt like, well, you know, I don't want the viewers to fully access this list either. Like, I don't want you to know, I mean, it's here, I'm presenting the information which can be found online, but I don't want you to call these people. I don't want you to go to their addresses. So it's really weird to see people like, like checking out the font size 7 and trying to read it. So that's that piece, and then I'll relate it to a piece at the end of the hallway shortly, but we'll walk down this one. So going back to the Mojave Desert, as an artist invited to work in the desert, we were told to make works that were generated by, you know, inspired by the desert. But what I was actually more interested in when I got there was when I was taking walks around the desert, like sort of off the path of normalcy or whatever, I saw all these weird papers like caught in the cactuses or like caught under rocks and in bushes and things. And so to me, I felt like as an artist, maybe it would be more interesting for me to archive the works that the desert decided to preserve and suspend and then to sort of deteriorate. But I figured if I do it digitally, I'm sort of counter-doing what the desert did, because as soon as you make something digital, it suspends its further deterioration. So I have a huge selection of works. These are just a couple of the enlargements. I started with this one because it references like the Dead Sea Scrolls to me, which is like the religious works that originated in the desert. But as you get towards the end of it, it turns into like couch advertisements and things like that. And some of these are really nice because they're date marked. So this one's from 1996. From the date it was stamped. And then some of the context of these papers was interesting to me in the middle of the desert too, like using your credit card wisely, and you know, if I'm gonna find an ad for anything, of course it's gonna be about being comfortable in the desert with these huge recliners. And I ended with this piece because I felt it segued into the green room, which we'll go into, but this X-ray universe piece is really like poetic and beautiful to me because of all these sort of Doppler markings and then this organic stain that somehow happened by the desert. I'm not quite sure how, but I thought that those plots and that sort of arrangement segued into this work really well. So as you can see, there's a visual relationship sort of between that dot piece with the X-ray universe and then this one. And this is also a corresponding piece with the golf course data list because this is the geospatial positioning in California of where all those 1,000 golf courses were located. And so this has been through multiple stages, but I'm still satisfied with where it's at right now. Ultimately, I envisioned having the projector light be much softer and having the vials glow from underneath. But it seems the black light, I would need way more of them. And so I decided that when the map is fully in focus, it sort of, the vials got lost. So if I unfocus the map, it actually highlights the vials, but it also suggests something beyond California. And so I titled the piece Vial with an R in the middle, so it's viral, because they turn into like festations to me, or like tumor-esque. I don't know. I don't know. Like it looks sick to me, and that's why. And golf courses lawns are green, and then green is also like ills. So I kind of felt like all of these metaphors played together in this this pretty more aesthetic piece than I usually make. You know, I usually don't make these kind of works, but it was good to get back into the construction of things, because